Welcome to the State of HDI, a podcast series dedicated to exploring the projects and initiatives at the University of Kentucky Human Development Institute. Today, we are going to talk more broadly about challenges and opportunities associated with moving work forward in the systems with which we interact, specifically, how we can advance ideas for improvement or innovation in a system where we are not the boss. HDI Deputy Director Johnny Collette joins us in the studio. Johnny, what are some principles individuals or teams can use to advance ideas for improvement or innovation within their systems?
You know, I'm convinced that those who are closest to the work know the most about it and often have great ideas related to improvement. At the same time, though, these individuals are often not in a position to compel actions they believe could improve processes and results. In fact, some of the best ideas for improvement or innovation may have never seen the light of day, and that's at least partly because individuals within the system may not be well equipped to advance those ideas. Let's face it, advancing ideas for improvement or innovation is hard, no matter who you are, and even if implementing those ideas could lead to needed improvement or change. It can be particularly challenging within governments and other bureaucratic systems. Within any system, though, there are competing priorities, matters relating to time, resources, staffing, and any number of other constraints. And this is compounded by the fact that systems, by their nature, are often built to resist change. And let's be honest, sometimes those within systems, including us, can become content with the status quo, or even worse, intent on preserving it. So it can seem that advancing ideas for improvement or innovation within a system is nearly impossible, but it's not. You can effectively propose an idea for improvement or innovation and move work forward in a system where you are not the boss. In this podcast, we're introducing a set of principles that individuals or teams can use to advance ideas for improvement or innovation within their systems. The principles apply in any setting, can be used regardless of where you are organizationally situated, and will increase your ability to lead from where you are, wherever that may be. You know, the opportunity to raise the awareness and inform the thinking of a system leader is a sometimes rare but always significant one. So becoming increasingly better equipped to effectively approach, engage, and communicate with a system leader is critical to advancing work within your system. So here we go. Principle number 1, focus on advancing the work. It is true, even if we do everything right, that an idea we propose may not be accepted, or if it is, it may not be implemented in the way we envisioned. When that happens, sometimes we can feel like we weren't successful. But that's really not true if we will broaden our thinking on why we are presenting the idea in the first place. Of course, we want to achieve the specific focus of our idea, but we should also want to help create and nurture an environment where the potential to advance important work within the system is increased. In this way, while you may not always achieve everything you wanted, moving something one step further and leaving the system better than you found it is worth acknowledging and celebrating. So, principle 1 is focus on advancing the work. Advancement is the goal. Attainment is a bonus. Principle number 2, understand the system leader's priorities. In seeking to move work forward in a system where you are not the boss, it is helpful to view the system leader as someone who has a particular set of priorities on which to deliver and a specified period of time in which to show results. This is especially true for elected or otherwise political officials and appointees. As a result, and the importance of this cannot be overstated, the majority of things we think a leader should do, or even things the leader wants to do, will necessarily fall outside of those priorities and that window of time. This reality increases the significance and potential impact of any opportunity to propose an idea for improvement or innovation to a system leader. Because such opportunities may be rare, understanding the priorities on which the system leader must focus the majority of their time and effort is critical to successfully advancing work within a system. Principle number 1, focus on advancing the work. Principle number 2, understand the system leader's priorities. Principle number 3, manage your assumptions. We sometimes assume that a system leader should do, or at least consider, what we propose simply because it is the, quote, right thing to do. Now, this next part may be difficult to hear. The do it because it's the right thing to do approach is presumptuous. It's unrealistic, and it will in most cases prove unproductive. As a reminder, the system leader has a particular set of priorities on which to deliver and may have a limited period of time in which to show results. In reality, then, most things, even good things, necessarily fall outside of those parameters. This is not personal. It doesn't mean your idea is not a good idea. It doesn't mean it isn't the right thing to do. It's just a function of scope of work and time. The work is defined and the time is limited. As a result, the do it because it's the right thing to do approach will likely result in no more than your proposal taking its place among the dozens of other right things to do that have been and will be presented to the leader that week, not to mention that month and that year. You know, none of us have time to waste time on unproductive approaches. It's going to take a more thoughtful, realistic, and strategic approach to successfully advance work within your system. Principle number 4, plan your approach. As you focus on advancing the work, managing your assumptions, and understanding that the system leader is working within their own constraints, you will be better prepared to plan an approach that increases the potential to move important work forward within your system. This principle has 2 big parts. But first, a reminder. The idea you are trying to advance is not the one and only. It's one of many. You will be introducing your idea into an environment that is filled with competing priorities. You will be meeting the system leader at the intersection of the priorities they've been charged to lead and the limited time they have to deliver results. I'm in no way minimizing your perception of the proposal, the perception of the constituency, membership, or group you may be representing. But I am suggesting that these must not be the only perceptions guiding how you approach, engage, and communicate with the system leader. Rather, your proposal must be perceived by the leader as something that does at least the following things. Number 1, moves their priorities forward or solves a pervasive problem. A word of caution here. It must be clear to the leader that you have done your homework regarding how your idea may relate to or align with the broader work for which they are responsible, including the vision, mission, and strategic plan of the organization. If you're not prepared to do this, your ability to advance the idea will be significantly decreased. The system leader may kindly listen, but your pitch will not compel them to do anything except maybe not accept your next meeting request. You see, it's not enough that you know your work. You need to understand the broader work of the organization enough that you can align your proposal to it. You should be prepared to show how implementing your proposal could move the system leader's work forward, not just how it moves your work forward. Some system leaders will intuitively see this, but many will not. Key point here, it is not the system leader's job to intuitively understand or to frame the relevance of your proposal and its alignment to their priorities. That's your job. Similarly, you should be prepared to answer the question, what problem are you trying to solve? A good system leader will ask some version of that question when approached with an idea or concept. They're trying to determine, and rightly so, whether the idea being presented is a solution in search of a problem or a potential solution to a problem they've been trying to solve. I want you to picture train tracks that are completely filled with moving trains. Now let's go back to your idea and proposal. If the leader perceives your proposal as an effort, well-intended as it may be, to put a new train on an already crowded track, your meeting is going to be less successful than you hoped. The more effective approach will be to show how your proposal belongs on a train that is already moving down the track. So as you plan your approach, keep in mind that your proposal must be perceived by the leader as something that moves their priorities forward or solves a pervasive problem. It also must be perceived as something that is doable within the time they have to lead and is worth the capital they have to spend. Because system leaders are charged with a particular set of priorities and may have a limited window of time in which to show results, they must calculate whether implementing a proposed idea is worth the capital they will have to spend to get it done. Political capital, resources, time, etc. None of these decisions or calculations are judgments about you personally or the importance of what you're proposing. They're simply realities in which the leader must operate, and there are realities that are critical for you to understand if you're going to be successful in advancing work within your system. It is the system leader's job to make these calculations and decisions, but it's not their job to frame a proposal that thoughtfully addresses them. That's your job. So the likelihood of advancing your idea for improvement or innovation will depend on the extent to which it is perceived as relevant, timely, and worth it. Put more simply, you should be prepared to clearly and concisely address questions like these. What are you asking the leader to do? Why is it important? Why does it need to be done now? What are the pros and cons? Who will support it? Who will oppose it? By the way, how you respond to those last few questions, what are the pros and cons, who will support it, who will oppose it, will provide insight to the leader regarding the extent to which you have a clear understanding of the broader universe of the matter. In other words, you will want to avoid being perceived as not understanding the implications, good and bad, of implementing your proposal. Focus on advancing the work. Understand the system leader's priorities. Manage your assumptions. Plan your approach. Principle number 5, leave them with something they can use. While serving in roles as a state government executive branch official and as a political appointee at the federal level, I heard hundreds of proposals, some of which attended well to these principles and many that did not. In full transparency, while a meeting may have lasted an hour or more, I often knew within minutes whether I was going to immediately act on the content of the meeting or not. Again, not negative, not personal, just a reality. While it was helpful for me to receive materials regarding what was being proposed, materials like brochures, research, and position papers, it was often even more helpful when the person or group with whom I was meeting left me with a one-pager of high-level talking points about the proposal that I could easily understand and immediately use. Not only did this simple action assist me in understanding the proposal, but it also increased the potential that I could communicate about it accurately. You know, the question is usually not if the leader will meet to discuss your idea. The question is whether they will continue to think about your idea after you meet. So leave them with something they can use, and that provides a clear reference point for potential follow-up. So let's summarize. The problem is not that individuals and teams lack promising ideas for improvement or innovation. The problem, if there is one, is that they may not be well equipped to advance those ideas. Remember, the opportunity to raise the awareness and inform the thinking of a system leader is a sometimes rare but always significant one. So becoming increasingly better equipped to effectively approach, engage, and communicate with a system leader is critical to advancing work within your system. Make no mistake, advancing ideas for improvement or innovation within a system is hard work, no matter who you are. It can be even more challenging if you're not in a position to compel the kinds of change you believe and perhaps know are necessary. Difficult? Yes. Doable? Yes. Worth your focused and best effort? Absolutely. Attending well to these principles will not guarantee that your proposal is accepted, or if it is, that it will be implemented in the way you envisioned, but it may help to create and cultivate an environment where the potential to advance an idea for improvement or innovation is increased. Remember, it really doesn't matter how good your idea is if you can't move it forward.